Welcome to the mainstream. The Whipple Fine Arts Building hosted a reception for its featured artist Robin Loznak on November 17th. Much of the local photographer's work has been viewed nationwide, having worked as a photojournalist most of his career, photographing everything from nature to politics. The photography being showcased at UCC's gallery is primarily of wildlife, as well as including images he had taken the Deepwater Horizon oil spill on the Gulf Coast. At the reception, we were able to catch up with the artist to get some background on his trip to the Gulf. He also spoke on how he got his start in the world of photojournalism.
I left my job at the News Review to start my own freelance and photo studio in Roseburg. And so I guess I'd always sort of seen big stories like would happen nationally or internationally, and because I was a staff photographer for 19 years, and I was never really able to go and do something like that, go and shoot pictures at a big event, and because I was working for myself, I could go to Louisiana. And I worked with a photo agency called Zuma Press, so they didn't actually pay for my way, but they sort of backed me up as I could say that I was a representative of Zuma Press when I would try to get into situations down there to take pictures. Since I was a kid, I inherited a camera from my grandfather when I was, I don't know, 10 years old probably. And I started taking pictures, and it just seemed like it kind of came naturally to me in some ways. It was enjoyable, and I could sort of lose myself in it. You know, it's like one of those things when time flies when you're having fun. When I kind of get in the zone of taking pictures, everything else just kind of disappears, and I'm doing it, and it's a great feeling. Went to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. And I was a biology and anthropology major for a while, although I ended up getting a Bachelor of General Studies degree. But I started working for the student newspaper, the Michigan Daily paper, as a photographer my junior year. And so then I worked there for 2 years. And by the time, by my senior year, the end of my senior year, I was doing that a lot and sort of really putting all my effort into the student newspaper. Spending all night in the dark room. And that's really where I learned the basics of being a photojournalist. I've been at several newspapers, where I was a staff photographer, starting in Astoria, Oregon, and a couple papers in Montana, Pennsylvania. I was at a paper out there. But my photos, I've always submitted photos to the Associated Press, wire service, and then my photos, when I would work at newspapers, would show up all over the world. Magazines, newspapers. People would send me clippings from Tokyo sometimes. Because of what I would shoot, sort of the slice of life or animal type features, newspapers would really like to run those. I don't think I have a favorite photo. Probably the most famous picture I have is there's a picture of a deer being hit by a car, which is in the show here, that I took when I was in Montana. And that photo went all over the world, and I was interviewed about it for the New York Times, ran it, and all sorts of stuff like that. So that would probably be my most famous picture. I don't know if I have a favorite picture. It seems like I take a picture and I love it that week, and then the next week I love another picture. So
Loznak also spoke before those attending the reception to offer insight and reflection on his work.
I remember when I shot this picture, I had a friend who was working with me part-time as a photographer, and his name's Carl, and I came back and I said, I have the perfect picture, Carl. Can you tell me what 3 things are in the perfect picture, as like a slice of life picture? And he said a kid, a dog, and water. And I was like, yeah, you got it. That's it.
Loznak's work will continue to be on display until December 3rd in the Whipple Fine Arts Gallery. For the mainstream, this is Chase Vincent Gilley.